Okay, so if this is working, then you should be able to hear me just fine. Everything's probably come out. You can kind of tell I haven't gussed myself up or anything. This is just a generalized update to kind of give you guys a heads up on what's going on and where everything stands. So the first thing that we'll do for the grandbabies, Baby D, Baby Tiff Tiff, we have to get it out of the way. You do not need to subscribe. You do not need to hit that like button. We're not doing this so that you do those things. That's for you guys, right? That's for you. All right, next is where are we standing with the reviews and me getting to know BTS just a little bit better. And in this regard, I haven't found anything about BTS that's overly compelling at this time. I haven't shifted my viewpoints on them. I think they're a talented group of young men that are doing exactly what every other group of young men are doing, and that is trying to make money. I heard her listening to a song that is called Money, 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 Give Me Money, or something along those lines. And that pretty much gives exactly my viewpoints on what they're doing. She disagrees with me strongly and would like to show me additional videos to prove her point. I'm willing to watch those videos, review them, and listen to her. But at the moment, Tyneezy has just been very busy. She's very tired. She's doing a lot, so that hasn't been done. We will start doing more review videos as time goes on, but you shouldn't expect them to be regular, right? We just kind of do them for fun. We do them when we want to, and we're doing them sporadically because we want to. If you guys enjoy watching them, great. If not, no big deal. We understand. Next is, well, that kind of ends the BTS segment of what I was wanting to talk about in the first place. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about my stories and, where that is, how that goes. Let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about my stories and what's going on in them and where everything is there. So if you just came to figure out what's going on with BTS, that's it. You don't have to watch the next part of the video. All right, now moving on to my stories. One of the stories that I made quite a long series about was the living with a serial killer. That story is still going. It's still going very strong. A few dramatic things have happened. Let's see. The main character was shot. The police started doing a full investigation, got a lot closer to him than expected. It finally worked out in his benefit. One of the police officers kind of lost it and tried to break into an area and left some evidence behind. Flip-flop and kind of speed through that. He ended up getting in trouble and couldn't deal with the fact that he was about to be arrested for his crime, and secretly attempted to kill the main character. And that didn't work out for him. He led them on a high-speed chase through most of the city before he was finally apprehended. And once again, the main killer is on the path to his murdering rampage, free and clear of any suspicion. As for the girl that he's living with, that has taken a much stronger push towards we'll just call it the 50 Shades of Grey aspect. And in that sense, he's really molding her and kind of creating what he considers the perfect image of what he wants to live with. So there's been a lot of that going on. Aside from this story, there are a couple more stories that have popped up. I've got Forever Bound, which is a werewolf story. And this is about a werewolf that has kind of pushed himself too close to his wolf. He's gone too long without being human. And as a result, he's he's kind of breaking down piece by piece, and they, his pack has kind of had enough of it. He's too dangerous. He's too wild. It's just, in their opinion, it's time to put him down. And so what ended up happening is a mate has come in to the picture, and she is trying to save him, which is Tyneezy. She's trying to attempt to save him from this destructive end. But he is a bad guy. I mean, he's wild, he's a drunk, he's abusive, he's mean. He's not a friendly person to work with. And she's kind of trying to deal with all of that while at the same time trying to attempt to save him because they are mated, right? She feels it in her bond, her soul. She feels connected to this person. So there's that story going on. Then there was another story that I had called Busy Nights. That one has ended. That story was about a fallen angel who willingly stepped down from the heavenly host. And when he did that, he came down to the earth and has been here since the 1980s. He fell from grace specifically so that he could explore the world and see the beauty that was in the world, the natural beauty of it. Of all my characters, this is the nice guy. This was the guy that was just a nice person. And he ended up meeting a woman and stopping his nomad ways. And while doing this, he found himself kind of infatuated with her. And she was part Fae. She had some Fae blood in her. And so they kind of started to explore this mixing. But bear in mind, they didn't know each other for much longer than a week. They had met in the past, but they didn't really know each other. And then she kind of had a connection with her ex that she couldn't let go of. And that kind of sent up some warning bells, but didn't really end anything until the ex showed up in the picture, right? And that turned her, and when he did, he was some kind of great demon lord. And he turned her into half fae, half demon. And, the main character, the fallen angel, was just having none of it and kind of took his leave from there. So he wasn't big on conflict. He's not big on demons. He's kind of a passive, carefree sort of person. And so there was just too much happening. Is the story dead? I wouldn't say it's dead, but it definitely ended. It would have ended with him pretty much saying, "This is too much. Good luck to you. Here's my phone number. If you ever need me, I'm out." In other news, at the end of that story, another story picked up that I'm currently writing, which is with a co-writer. And this one has been a challenge. Let me tell you, this is a complicated story. So it's a pirate taking place in 1941. It is very historical based. It doesn't have to be historical based. I think we both agreed that we can pretty much do whatever we want with the story. So if we want Pirates of the Caribbean, we can certainly go that direction. But at the moment, we're pushing more towards a Black Flags concept. Although, bear in mind, Black Flags takes place in 1715 during the rise of the pirates. And our story, which is called A Pirate's Black Heart, is taking place in 1741, which is considered the pirates' golden age. One of the things that I have found most challenging about this story, and it's still very new, is the research. There is so much to learn. I cannot even express how much stuff I've had to learn here. Different rigging, different boats, different ships, the port side, the starboard side, the stern, the bow, right? And that's only the beginning. Once you've got the ship down, you've also got to know what kind of positions did they have on the ship, right? Like, you can't just say that guy does this, that guy does this. There were actual positions. So I had to research what are those positions and what did they do? Like, how much power did these people actually have? Then I had to research how they spoke, right? And that's beyond me. I'm telling you, I've got one guy on the whole ship that talks true pirate talk, and you can barely understand anything that's coming out of his mouth because it is so complicated to write. It's more than, 5 vowels being changed over to ye and scallywag and nay and captain instead of captain. It's more than that. There's full-on sentences that really just twist you around and get you tongue-tied. So only one guy really talks that way. Everybody else has a very minor accent because it's just too hard to maintain. I also had to find out trade routes. I had to find out shipping lanes. I had to find out what kind of boats what kind of ships would cargo be shipped on and stuff like that. It seems really unnecessary, but I wanted to add an authenticity to this story that really pulled you in and made you feel like, this feels piratey. This doesn't just feel like a couple of people writing something aggressive and rude. This feels piratey, and that's what I wanted to get involved in. Some things I didn't need to know as much about that I did study. Cannon, pounds. You would say, yeah, you need to know about the pounds of a cannon, right? There are 5-pounders, there are 12-pounders, there's 20-pounders, and you need to know these things, but not in the depth that I figured them out. So there are some things that I'm researching that I really didn't need to. One of the other things that we're really that we both agreed on is we've changed the way slavery is going to work. I mean, this was an era that's just shy of the rebellion that took place. So I really, with all the heated topics and all the stuff going on right now in the real world, I really didn't want to push too hard on the slavery concept, but there's really no way to avoid it. There's no way to ignore it or not add it into a story if you're trying to remain somewhat historical. So instead, what we did is we added to that slavery. We encompassed all kinds of people, not just South America and Africa and stuff. We encompassed a massive amount of people. Like, for now, anybody can be enslaved, whether they're Caucasian or African American or Indian or Asian, or Spanish. It doesn't really matter. If you couldn't pay your debt, then you could be enslaved. Is that historically accurate? No. But is it going to work for the story? Yes. And it might help us take off some pressure that may otherwise be there. One warning I would give anybody is that this is a very adult story. This is one of my, you think the living with a serial killer is bad. This one is definitely a step beyond that. This is a very adult-based story. It's very graphic, it's very gruesome, it's very bloody, it's just a very aggressive story. So it's very fun to write, but it is also at the same time quite complicated. I've enjoyed it a lot. It gives me a lot to think about. It gives me a lot to research. So that's pretty much it. That's an update on everything that's going on and what I've been doing. If you're if you think I should be reviewing BTS videos alone, since Tyneezy is so busy, leave a comment. That's fine. Let me know that that's something you think you could do. I haven't done that because I'm a little nervous that it's going to cause haters, especially with my lack of knowledge. So where I looked at songs like Money, 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 there's a deeper meaning to this song, apparently, that Tyneezy told me. There's a deeper meaning to the song than I'm giving credit for. To me, it just sounds like a bunch of kids saying, give me your money. And she's saying that's not accurate. So if you think that I should review videos without Tyneezy, or at least fill in the gaps with more reviews, please leave a comment below, and that's something that I can do. If you have an idea of a video that you would like the two of us to review, and you think this song would really help Redfern understand that aspect more, then leave a comment. Let me know what song you believe that should be. If you want to know more about one of my stories that I'm writing, Same thing. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're interested in. These things aren't really for. I'm not making these blogs really for a bunch of people to watch. I'm not fighting for views. I'm not fighting for subscriptions or thumbs up. I'm just making something that I think is enjoyable and fun to do. So hopefully I've addressed all of your questions and answered all the things that might be going through your head. Again, if you have more questions, leave them below, and thanks for watching. Peace.